So, come to you with another video. And this one, we are going to be discussing a couple different things. Why college? Let's talk about our name for a second.
Our name? College for Us.
College for Us.
Why?
I was just thinking of names, and College for Us was like...
Makes sense, right?
I thought it made a lot of sense.
We're two college students.
College is definitely on our minds quite a bit.
If we're not there, we're thinking about it. If we're not thinking about it, we're there.
Exactly. It's a good part of our life. And also, it's like we're just getting into this portion of our lives that is very influential to our future. We're definitely not going to be focusing strictly on college content.
But it's the big part.
And we can definitely say that this is our college years. The name just kind of goes over all of our experiences that we're going to be having and all of the general experience that I think most people in college or even not in college will typically run into.
And that's what we kind of want to capture with this account. We want to get all of those experiences. We want to show and share them with whoever views our videos. So why not just show it the way that we're experiencing it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be on point as how you will experience it, but it'll definitely give you an idea of what it might be.
Alright, so the question that we asked was, why did we even decide on college? We could have taken so many different options. I'm sure if you're in high school, you know, you can go work, you can go to the military. Why did we go so far from home? Why did we go to the university? Why not just some community college to start off? Right. Something like that.
Anything.
I went from preschool to the 2nd grade in Mexico. Came here in the 3rd grade up to, I guess, my freshman year of college now. My senior year of high school. I had it instilled in my head that this is what you do. You go to school, you get good grades, you do your best, you go to college, you get a good job. But you need college in order to get a good job. You need a degree, all that crap. So it was always in my plans. It was always, my parents always pushed it upon me. They wanted good grades for scholarship. If I didn't get the scholarships, I wasn't going to college. So spent all of high school, all of middle school, busting my butt to go to... I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. I didn't know what the point of going to college was. And then maybe into my sophomore year of high school, I decided I want to do music. I like playing guitar, I like learning music. It was a passion that I had, that I thought, if I do anything, I might as well just do this. For middle school, I went to a little charter school. So I didn't really have experience with music. I didn't have any sports. It wasn't until my sophomore year of high school that I joined a sports team, that I joined band. And then towards my senior year, when I was actually making decisions, 2nd semester, I decided this isn't what I want to do. Like, music's cool, but I realized it was a hobby more than a passion. Then I got a job as a trainer at a gym, and I found, oh my god, this is what I like to do. Instead of spending hours on YouTube looking at guitar videos and learning songs and stuff like that, I was finding myself spending hours reading articles about workouts or different bodybuilders and stuff like that. And eventually it just became a passion, and by like maybe 2-3 weeks before graduation, I decided I'm changing my major. I want to go into college and I want to be a kinesiology major. It's basically exercise science and I like it, so I want to do this. I want to pursue that. So I guess to generalize it, college for me has always been instilled in my head that that was the only way to be successful.
So for me, I'd say it was pretty similar. Both my parents went to college and they went to Texas Tech. I obviously found out because I like talked to my parents about that kind of stuff, like, oh, what's that thing on your wall that says Texas Tech, or what's this little emblem you got on the car? And so ever since I was little, I knew what college was. By observing, it just became, oh, so when I get older, I'll go to college too. So that's why I was like getting good grades, because I knew you need to get good grades to get into college and make scholarships and stuff like that. So I was a pretty good straight A student up until high school. I became a little jaded and my grades kind of fluctuated and my interests weren't all there. I found myself in class. I was like, I don't really care that much about all this stuff, and I don't really know if I will ever use all this stuff. So high school kind of became a little bit of a struggle because I wasn't so interested. But then I decided to join band my 2nd semester of my sophomore year. And I really honestly think that making that decision changed my life. Because if I didn't do that, I probably wouldn't give a shit about music. I picked up the tuba and learned. And people taught me. And I really, really enjoyed it. My senior year, I made first chair. And ever since like around junior year, I was like, man, this is what I love. Only thing I could really enjoy during the day was going to morning band and going to class. Even if I was tired as hell, I enjoyed playing the music right and getting it right and getting better every time. So that's why I chose UNT, most definitely. But UNT is pretty competitive music. And I went through a couple different experiences, like being in the marching band and joining the drum corps. But after like some of that, I realized, oh, maybe this is not for me. So I was like, well, maybe there's a bunch of other stuff that I actually am interested in. And choosing a bunch of random classes that I might have had interest in, it eventually led me to figuring out that I'm really interested in psychology stuff. Now I found out I'm a psychology major with a music minor, so that's why I decided that college is a choice for me, because I found out that I think I would really enjoy being a clinical psychiatrist. I am pretty interested in all that stuff, and helping people seems really cool, so college is definitely the path for me to pursue that career.
Alright, so on that, there's another question that we had. What does it mean to be educated? Does it mean that you go to college? Does it mean that you got straight A's through all your classes and you're going to Harvard Law and you're better than the person back at home who didn't do as well, doesn't have the money to go to a good college? They put the same amount of time as you. They didn't go to a more prestigious school. Does that mean they're less educated than you? What do you think?
I don't think it means as less educated than you. I have a feeling that a lot of the people that I know that went to community college simply didn't go because of money, or simply didn't go because they didn't believe that they could make it into higher schools, so they just went the bare minimum.
Like, people will say college isn't for everybody, and it's true, but that doesn't mean that because you don't go to college you're stupid or you're gonna be unsuccessful for the rest of your life. From watching Suli Breaks, I'm sure everybody has seen his video, Why I Hate School But Love Education. It basically just points out how the system of education is flawed. You go through 13 years of school that are mandatory. Now that I'm in college, I realize nothing that I learned through high school or middle school is relevant anymore. Like, nothing you learn in high school really matters in the real world. Like, they don't teach you the things that you need to know. They don't teach you how to do taxes. They don't teach you how to balance a checkbook.
I mean, this is something you might learn on your own, but they don't strictly teach you how to manage your time, how to motivate yourself, and how to find, your ways of managing yourself or studying.
Yeah, study. And that's the stuff that really matters once you leave. That's the stuff that matters in the real world. Like, they don't show you how to be professional. When I was a senior in high school, I had about 6 different job interviews. Didn't get any of them. I didn't know how to write a resume. I just jumbled a bunch of stuff together and it didn't look professional. When I went to speak to them, I wasn't prepared. I was never prepared, so I didn't get anything. It wasn't until I actually sat down on my computer and spent about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, to build a resume, learn how to do all that stuff. When that's stuff that they should have taught us in high school. If you go to college, they don't teach you how to do scholarships. They don't teach you how to do college applications. They might help you, but they don't teach you what you need.
I don't want to blame them for not teaching us, because I feel like the teachers there at our high schools are doing the best they can for the most part, but not everything they taught us, that put effort to teach us, was relevant enough that we would use it in our everyday lives. It was it was that we were learning content so that we could pass our state regulated exam.
And even after that, we were just learning stuff to pass the test. And it shouldn't be like that.
I believe it's very hard to make a very constructive, well thought out, and economically valuable way of teaching. Our schools are, I hate saying this, but are like factories pushing our kids through and through.
Yeah, and so I guess that brings us each to what do we think education is? For me, I think education is what you get through your own experience. If you get a job, one of those jobs that nobody wants to do, but even if it's just that, you learn how to go through an interview. You learn how to be timely. You learn all that stuff. And so for me, when I worked at a gym, it's stuff that I should have known already, but I learned how to sweep floors. I learned how to mop. And being in college, I learned how to cook for myself. But I learned how to be more of a clean person when it comes to my living environment. Learn how to wash my own clothes. Experience is what creates an educated person. Whether it's experience of living on your own in a dorm, or if you decide that college isn't for you and you want to travel,
start a business.
You want to start a business. You want to go to the military. That's cool. None of those things should be looked down on.
That's their own decision.
Yeah.
And maybe it was the last option, but
it doesn't mean that they're any less educated than you. Personally, there was a kid in our graduating class who was within the first 12 people, and he got into every school that he applied to, but he had since day one decided that he wanted to join the Marine. He was going to do that since I met him our freshman year, and he did so. That's awesome. That's what he wanted to do. He had the brains to do whatever else, but he decided to pursue his dream. It doesn't mean that he didn't get into college. It means he decided to do something else, something that meant something to him.
And the way I see being educated is realizing that there is more than one way to lead your life and be your own educated person. There's many ways to become successful. There are many ways to be happy in life. Because really, going through college, if that's all you ever do, it doesn't define you brighter than the next person. For us personally, we're going to college so that we can obtain the jobs that we are pursuing. But really, every single experience that you ever encounter in your life is something that will,
contribute to your education.
You'll learn from so much more than just going to school. Things will change the way you view the world. Maybe traveling and encountering different cultures, all sorts of stuff. And that's really, going out and putting yourself out there. Once you've, realized that
makes an educated person. One of Mr. Breaks' quotes was, if it was considered a family tree, hard work and education would be related, and school would just be a distant cousin. So it's like, what really makes an educated person is the work that he puts into it.
Yeah. Alright guys, so that's what we think about this topic. The college and education and all that.
We need a new board.
You need a new marker.
Alright, well, that's our video.
That's what we gotta say.
We will see you guys next time.
See you.